Hey, what's up? Welcome to Mike Maier Incorporated. And you know what? Today's kind of interesting. This week we've had a nice stack of cars coming through, kind of like we generally always do, but we got a good array of cars. And I was thinking about it with my boy, and I'm saying, you know what? Maybe we need to show you guys what's in the shop. So come on through. Let's go check it out. It's Thursday, and man, I tell you what, I'm ready for the weekend. So Friday tomorrow, we're gonna tell everybody working. I guess maybe we are working. I don't know, but we're gonna work tomorrow. I'm ready for Friday. But come on in, let's look around. We got our new display we're working on. It is still kind of fragmented. We've got little bits and pieces like this is a custom little shock tower brace here. It's aluminum. It's freaking awesome. We got vintage racing going on the TV. So guys that come after work, hang out and check the shop out. They got something to chew on, learn about. Come on through. There's Brian coming in the office. So if you come in the shop, I want to show you a couple of the cars here, what we got going on. This is Mr. Ken Rhodes' car. It's an awesome 65 Mustang. Sounds funny, I've been doing Mustangs all my life. I can tell the difference between a 65 6-ish sometimes. I call everything 65, so if it's a 65 or 6, whatever. So this is a 65 Mustang, and this is kind of the turning into our iconic Mod 1 customer car. This dude here is driving a coffee shop in the morning, going out on long drives with his daughter, passing on the information about like, hey, check this out, this is a 4-speed. This is what it feels like to drive a good old school heavy clutch. But the great thing about this car, he's been working on it every season, and it just keeps getting better. It's got Wilwood brakes on it, 13-inch brakes in the front. It's got a Wilwood brake floating caliper in the back. It's got a top loader. It's got a 351 Windsor built from a company called Tony Odo Engineering. Back in the 80s, and I'm sure they do now, they build amazing motors. My dad used to say, if you had a Tony Odo motor, dude, you had a real Trans Am motor back then. So that's really cool. He's got a Tony Odo motor in this, but it's drivable. It's like 450-ish horse. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's got grunt to spare. It's got a 9-inch rear end housing in the back. It's got our leaf springs and pennant rod. It's on Falcon tires. He's updated the interior a little bit. He's got our power steering kit, but he kept it all 4-speed. He's got a cool new Momo steering wheel. I was telling him about that wheel. The Prototipo steering wheel right there was kind of like the super old school, legit, badass wheel. I mean, that Prototipo steering wheel was in my dad's Trans Am car that I used to play in when I was a kid. So I'm actually really jealous of that wheel. And Old Blue might get a Prototipo in there just because it's super dope. But yeah, he came in. Ken Rhodes has been working on this for a long time. Right now, the reason why it came in, little things. These cars need little bits of maintenance. It's got a little creak in the back. Turned out a spot weld had popped loose, and we had to weld that up. We finished up his parking brake assembly. We were helping him out with that, and the cable under the dash had snapped. So we put a fresh cable in and finished out all that, and that's what this car is doing here today. But I thought you guys would really like to see this total. We're gonna cruise it around the lake car, gonna rip on a couple of guys that think they're awesome, but I'm still gonna drive the Tahoe car. This is the quintessential Mod 1. So come on over here. You guys know this car. This is Old Blue. It's actually been on the rack for some time. We're about to take this thing out for the first event this season at American Autocross. I'm really excited about it. I kind of been jonesing. I've been driving our 2017 for the last couple of years. And man, I'm really excited to drive this. So we just got done corner weighting it last night. We updated the front Wilwood brakes. We went to some floating rotors. We put some new hubs, some fresh bearings. Just went through nut and bolted it. Didn't really do a lot of stuff other than just look over it. We changed the good guy setup to an autocross setup for a big autocross. We changed the front springs and we changed the front sway bar. It's kind of a typical change between events. But again, this is on our Falcon tires, 615K pluses. This car's got the Roush Yates nationwide motor. You guys seen it all around. The rocker arm suspension. I don't know, this is pretty cool. I'm excited to see that. Right now on the inside, it's kind of dark, you can't see. We got a Sparco seat on the driver's side. My favorite seat is the bucket seat. I'm gonna probably move the little bucket over and I'm gonna put back in the stock flat buckets back in here. I just like the old school look the best. It's definitely not the safest, but man, do you feel alive. So that's that. This is my boys' go-kart, my daughters. They're gonna autocross this weekend. Mickey's currently learning how to scale this right now. I'm showing them how to get the weights and everything on the cart dialed in. Gotta have the tire pressure set. You gotta clean the fuel bowls out. We've learned that one. The thing will lock up with dirt. You can see right here, we fabbed up a little go-kart seat for Lily because she's so much smaller than her big brother. So when she drives, we just bolt this in real quick, and then when she jumps out, we pull this out, and he jumps in the big seat. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal. So brother and sister can co-drive at the autocross. This here is a car that's going to go down the road of Mr. Ken Rhodes' car. This gentleman's got a beautiful black 65.6 fastback. It's a 66, and he's got a lot of the basic things over the years. You know, he got disc brakes on it. He got aftermarket leaves. This is a typical customer. Someone who buys the real basic stuff, gets a good interior, beautiful paint job, but as they grow a little older, they start maybe wanting a little bit nicer, a little bit better handling. So that's what this guy's about. You can see here, when I was at my old shop, I did an old panel rod kit in here. He's one of the last ones, so he's got that dialed in. We're gonna update the leaf springs, update the shocks. We're gonna fix some brake issues he's got because it's bottoming out in here, and so we're gonna help him out with that. Up in here, he's gonna get a complete Mod 1 coilover system in the front. We're gonna take out all the original springs and shocks. The sway bar, the sway bar, yeah, it's an 1.1/8 bar, we should be good. We're gonna run our Mod 1 lower control arms in here. And I'm really excited for this guy because when you got guys like that, Ken Rhodes down there, who've been down the path, and you see that excitement, it's infectious. It makes me want to keep doing what we do. It makes the employees want to keep doing what they do because they come in so juiced. And then you see a total rookie come in, and you're like, dude, that's like fresh virgin meat. And they don't know what they're gonna get really. They're kind of hopeful, but they're gonna, we're really excited about it. We love seeing these guys come in because they're gonna be juiced when they leave. So really cool fastback here, Roger's car. It's a little dark over here. This is pretty cool here. Maybe we come over here from the light side. This car here, if you could walk around and take a look, this is a CSRG, like vintage style race car. I've known this guy since I was probably about 18 years old, and I was good friends with his cousin, and ever since we introduced from them, we've been pals, and he's been off racing, and he brought the car back, and he goes, hey dude, I'm having problems with this car, and I don't really know why it's doing what it's doing, but I've been around, and I'm having a tough time. So we basically, for the last 2 weeks, went on a fact-finding mission on this car. We put it on the scales, we measured all the suspension points, we found out. We actually called them up and we're like, dude, we can't get the scale numbers right, and we're doing a lot of weird stuff to get the weights on all 4 tires right. And it turned out that I said, if I wasn't sure, I think this thing had been in an accident here and had this happen there. And he goes, you know what? It was years and years ago. It had an accident there and an accident here, and it showed up on the scale number. So now that we knew it was up, we could true things up and get things dialed. So we did just that, but you know what's going, and you can find it through things like scaling and measuring all the suspension points. The other thing we found out was it had a set of aftermarket tubular control arms on it, and the way they adjusted the upper arms was it actually moved the spring and everything in, which made when the spring and the control arm went up, it went over center. So when you turn, this thing would actually go softer in the spring rate, it would fall over those. So we made a set of upper arms for it. We put a set of leafs in the back. We set the ride heights, we set the scales. We're giving him a clean baseline so then he can go out, and whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, sounds funny, we now know exactly what this car is. He can come back and say, I like this, I don't like that, I want this, I don't want that, and we know all of our data points so we can start clearly and cleanly helping this guy. So this is really cool. It's an old friend. My roots are in racing, vintage racing. My dad ran Trans Am. I've helped these guys out for years. I've driven a lot of these cars. This is pretty cool. I'm really excited about this. So then you can also see up here, we've got new blue. That's our 2017 Mustang. I'm really excited about that car. We got a lot of things we want to do to that. We've been running it a bunch over the years, and I've got more and more thoughts, more plans. I got a lot of random stuff. So that car's, it's got a E85 Shelby intake, stock training. We got an OS Geiken diff in it. We got a quartermaster twin disc clutch. We've got a Dynatech drive shaft, one-piece drive shaft in it. We have Aristo wheels that we designed with them. Falcon tires. We put the whole front on a weight loss program. We've got all of our MMI suspension, all of our new stuff, our struts with our JRI shafts and pistons, our rear JRI shocks, our weight jackers. It's got a bunch of stuff. We won one lap of America with this car. We've won Optima battery events with this car. It's a workhorse, so that's pretty cool. Back to this thing. I don't know if you guys wanted to see. It's pretty cool here. I was thinking about it. Thing's got some awesome motors. This thing, it's a small block, 289 302-ish. It's a nasty little 302 Windsor with a top loader, 4-speed type tranny in it. It's got, I'm gonna go back to this car because my son told me I gotta give more specs. This thing here, back to this vintage car, it's got some pretty cool 12-inch brakes in the front. It's got drums in the back, 9-inch housing in the back. It's got a rear seat delete. You want to show them the inside? You can see he's got fresh air ducts and all sorts of neat things in there. Full containment seat for safety. And there you go. So I hope you guys like the tour around the shop. I'm pretty excited about it. We do have a pretty wide range of cars here. Everything from vintage Trans Am to new SN95s to street cruiser guys just excited to have a great handling car. Our specialty here is really focusing on how you're using your car and how we can tune it for you to make your weekend, your drive, your experience, and whether it's the new S550 chassis, the mid-year cars, the old cars, we take the time to listen, find out what you're doing, and then we try to help you with all of our history and the fact that we do work here and we hand make all the product here to what you want and need. That's the difference. We're not a big factory or a big warehouse with a bunch of parts we buy from overseas. Everything here is handmade to what you need, and not too much, not too little, just right. So thanks for checking it out. This is Mike Maier Inc. I'm Mike Maier. Go check out our website at MikeMaierInc.com or our Facebook, Mike Maier Inc., Instagram, Mike Maier Inc., all that good stuff. We'll catch up with you at the track or heck, just cruising on the weekend.